Hey guys. Now, I like to consider myself something of a refined reviewer. I'm not one of these angry video game type reviewers, but everyone's got a line, and this game crossed the fucking line. Yep, yes, it is in fact Double Dragon 3, the Rosetta Stone. Now the premise for this game is absolutely insane. Let's get this straight from the start. The premise for Double Dragon 1, okay, so Billy and Jimmy, the girlfriend gets captured and they've got to rescue her, no problem with that at all. Double Dragon 2, the girlfriend gets shot and the guys are seeking revenge, fair enough. Double Dragon 3. Now all of a sudden our heroes are walking home and are suddenly visited by some old woman who's like tells them to go around the world on some kind of fantasy mission. I mean, what the hell is up with that? Where the hell did they get that from? I mean, what is this, Simon and the Witch or something? It's absolutely ridiculous. But let's just forget all that. And let's get to the game, or lack of. Yep, even putting coins in, slow as shit. Look at how long it takes me to put the bloody coins in. Every other game it's like, and this one it's like, ching 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 ching. Push appropriate button. Shouldn't that be the off switch? Okay guys, here we go. Mission 1, America. Just look at the animation here, or lack of. I mean, this is absolutely terrible. Look how slow the guy is, and that's not the bitrate on my video, by the way. That is the actual animation. Don't forget this was released after Final Fight. I mean, can you imagine? Yes, this is the shop. You only need one coin. Okay, so you gotta spend coins to buy extra guys, tricks, energy and power-ups. And they even put a timer on the fucking shop. They're that greedy that they don't want you to spend too much time on the machine even when you're in the bloody shop buying stuff. So you actually had to put coins in the machine to buy lives and stuff like that. And this is just, as a kid, this is just going to piss you off, and it pissed me off completely. As if kids are so foolish that they're going to be fooled into putting coins in this shit. You might as well not even bother with the punch button. It's better to just use kick most of the time, because punch is so shit. Look at these backgrounds, how still is that? Just look at that. What the fuck is that? It looks like it was done on Deluxe Paint 2 or something. Mexico leather, man. What the fuck does that even mean? This should be a lesson to all communists that capitalism sorts out the good companies from the bad companies. Because this company, it forgot about its roots. And it tried to rip off consumers basically with this game, and it bankrupted the company. And it's a good thing that it bankrupted the company. I remember going to the arcade and playing this at the time, and I was so buzzed, like, oh look at this guy now, Ronnie, this is an absolute joke. He's like a fucking, this Ronnie guy is supposed to be the power-up. He's like some sort of spasmoid crash test dummy. Why does he always look at the floor when he's punching? Why doesn't he look straight ahead? He might actually hit somebody. So yeah, back in the day, I first saw this in the arcade, and that arcade only had one Street Fighter 2 machine. There was about 8 guys queuing up for the Street Fighter 2 machine, and I was like, oh man. But then I saw this machine, Double Dragon 3, and I was like, oh wow, you know, and I was like, how come any of these fools haven't noticed the Double Dragon 3 machine? And I spent my money in it, and I realised very quickly that indeed they had noticed the Double Dragon 3 machine. And they'd realised how shit it was. The game's so ludicrously difficult, not because it's a certain skill required, just because it's so badly programmed that you actually have to buy those power-ups to stand any sort of a chance. When you hit them with the nunchucks, there's just, how the hell, why is there no noise? There's no noise at all when you hit someone with the nunchucks, you just fly away. What the hell? Who's this fool they've given me now? These are the power-ups you pay for. So I'm sure there's a violation under this trading standards here, because it's clearly not a power-up, it's a power down. Kids aren't stupid, and when you present a game like this to kids, thinking that they're not going to notice, that they're just going to buy into the Double Dragon name, you're not going to get anywhere. And Atari did that prior, Atari did that in the early 80s with games like E.T. etc. And this company, Technos, did the same thing. They forgot about the intelligence of their end users, and so they went under, because no one was going to trust that Double Dragon name again. And they might have thought, oh well, you know, it doesn't matter, everyone's going to want to play the game because of the name, and once we get those quarters, that's fine. But it doesn't take many kids to play this game, and then you're going to tell their friends, oh, I played this new Double Dragon, it's absolute garbage. And then the word gets around the school or whatever, and the game, no one's going to buy into this game. If they'd just made a decent game, they wouldn't have had to make you buy things in the shops and stuff like that. I mean, look at this shit, man. This guy is just a fucking joke. And when a kid is actually bored, senseless, when a kid is like, because you would have put your money in this, you might have put £1 in there, and by 3 continues, you're just dying for the game to end. Oh, that's exactly the opposite of what an arcade game should be. An arcade game you should be dying to keep playing. And what's all this shit about stones? That's bullshit to begin with. There's only one Rosetta Stone. That Rosetta Stone is in London, in the British Museum. It's not in any of the locations specified in this game. We thought kids were just so stupid that they wouldn't know anything about the history of the world. And if you're ever in London, I suggest that you go and see the Rosetta Stone, because the real Rosetta Stone is worth viewing. Double Dragon 3 Rosetta Stone, not worth viewing. I only include it on my channel because it certainly left an impression on me back in the day. Unfortunately, it was for all the wrong reasons. Now I'll have to limp over to the shop.
What would you like? You only need one. Thank you.
Otherwise we're not going to get through the level, because without the extra energy it's not good.
Thank you. Attack, insert the corner.
Yep, Technos certainly dropped the ball on this one, because there's a conflict in every developer's heart between good and evil, and good does not always triumph. Sometimes the dark side overcomes what Lincoln called the better angels of our nature. Technos were operating out there without any shred of human decency, completely beyond the pale, and quite clearly they had gone insane. And we had to terminate the company. Terminate with extreme prejudice. Yes, stupid spears sticking out of walls, check. The return of some of the worst features from the other Double Dragon games. Can't even make contact with any of these sprites after that. And this guy I absolutely hate, man. This is like the worst boss in any game until the last boss on this game. Billy walks like some kind of spasmoid android with a limp. Look at him. I mean, what the fuck is that noise? When he dies. Oh, this is it, really. Splits into 3. I see 3 of them, Adrian. Hit the one in the middle. When I first played this, I wasn't sure if he really did split into 3, or if the graphics were so bad that they'd warped my eyes and made me just see 3. Fucking shit, man. There's nothing, you can't do anything or anything. And it's not because my playing's bad, it's just the game mechanics or lack of. This is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, I thought we'd killed one there, obviously not. And this is quite obviously the point where our consumer, our kid, just gets up and walks away from the machine.